never hear anything. So I just thought that we would just bring some of those points out today just to make us stop and think for a few minutes.
Wow. You know, as I'm listening to you, I'm doing a lot of thinking. And that's part of what listening's about, is to hear what the other person is saying and to relate to what they're saying. And if you're listening to somebody that you respect, it all starts with respect, you might learn something. And learning something might help you advance whatever it is you're trying to do with yourself. Ultimately, you know, to have a better life. That's why it's so important that everyone surrounds themselves with the right people, with the right mentors, with the right role models. And so I just kind of want to go back for a minute to why we're here, Donna. You know, Right Thinking Foundation that I founded 6.5 years ago, it goes all over the country, and I meet a lot of people, and we have the National Online Support Network now, and we're mentoring more and more people all the time. And I had one of the friends that I mentor that recently got out of prison say something to me that it was just very emotional for me. I don't feel like I've been doing much of anything for this person, because this person is doing great. Coming out with, you know, just the right attitude, doing all the things you need to do right away, not wasting any time, staying out of trouble completely, but, you know, doing all the things, getting his driver's license right away back, almost has a job, just proper things. And when I kept hearing him thanking me for being his mentor, we've been corresponding for about 10 months while he was in prison. And I said, hey, you know, I'm not really doing anything for you. You're great. You know, I'm just here. I'm here for you. And he said, you don't understand how much you're doing for me. And he said, just having someone there to listen to me, to talk to me, to be my friend. I had gotten an attitude where I didn't think anybody wanted to ever have anything to do with me when I got out of prison. And so, you know, I'm like, are you kidding? You're a wonderful person. You know, I enjoy being your friend. But the point is this: we all need friends that we can talk with, that we can listen to, that we can share with. And I got a couple quotes here that I want to bring back in. Ernest Hemingway, the famous writer: when people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. That's just good advice. We've heard the Stephen Covey one twice already in the Jim Stovall readings, but I'm going to give it to you a third time because it is very, very important. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Now let's think about that for a minute. Let's stay on that for a minute. We've all been in conversations where it's like a heated discussion, an argument, and the other person is just expressing themselves, but you're not hearing anything they're saying. You're just getting your next comeback ready to come back on them. And it's like this competition. Well, you're not going to get very far like that. But the bad thing about that is you're not even respecting that person. And so if we want to go to a higher level, we need to respect one another so that we can hear their point of view, so that we can maybe change our own point of view a little bit. You know, that's a respectful thing. Here's one of the best quotes that I picked up. I don't know who Ed Cunningham is, but I guess that's, I don't know. I was going to go to Happy Days, the Cunningham, the character on Happy Days, his name was Cunningham. I can't remember his first name. Here's what it is. Friends are those rare people who ask how we are and then wait to hear the answer. That is just so beautiful. Donna, that's the direct statement on what's prompted this show. Because you were talking about, have you ever talked to people sometimes and next time you're with them, they don't remember a word that you said? Well, you know, we don't want to be like that. And what we're really trying to do here is we're trying to get each of you that are listening today to think about what we're saying and look at your own lives, your own family dynamics, and see if you are really someone who is showing your love and respect for the other family members there. And I want to come back to this. When I took my last trip cross country and I went in May to North Dakota, West Virginia, North Dakota, Oregon, and back. I did a show. It was episode 69 on the road with Steve. And I interviewed people. And one of the people that I interviewed was a woman that had two delightful young daughters, about 4 and 5 years old. And I said to her, "Can you tell me what the secret is to raising such beautiful daughters?" And she said 2 words. And I'm going to build this up for a second and tell you how powerful these 2 words are going to be. What is the secret to raising good kids, having a healthy family, just coming out well-adjusted, having good self-images, self-esteem, feeling good about yourself, feeling worthwhile, all the positives that we're trying to have so that we can go out there and have a good life and contribute to society? Here's what she said. Being present. The secret to a good relationship, particularly with your children, when you're raising your children, is being present, being there for them. And what does that mean? It means to be involved in their lives. It means to, when they want to express themselves, to listen to them. And you know, here's a quote that comes right off of what I just said. You cannot truly listen to anyone and do anything else at the same time. That's a person named M. Scott Peck. Now, you know, a lot of people in today's world of multitasking, oh my gosh, you know, social media and multitasking. You want to find out what I'm talking about? Go to a restaurant and watch everybody doing their cell phones instead of talking to one another. People are self-absorbed in whatever their interest is these days. But what I'm telling you is that the real art to listening is to give your entire self to the person that you're listening with, that you're listening to, that you're having that conversation with. You can't do anything better to show your love to someone than to give them your attention. And so, Donna, you want to say something about that?
Well, I just wanted to say, maybe we ought to put down the cell phones for a little while and the iPads for the kids and look at each other, because what I see happening is we're losing our eye-to-eye contact. And that's a huge thing, especially when you're talking to children. If you've ever been a teacher, when you need to talk to a child, one of the things they always teach you is to get down to their level, look in their eyes, explain to them what you need them to do, what you want them to do, or if you need to just thank them for something or give them a instruction. They need to see your eye contact. And as I'm observing, like I do, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing moms talk to their children while they're looking at their phone. And, you know, I know that's just what it is right now, and I'm not coming down on the young moms because they're all pretty amazing to me, what they can do. They do multitask. It's unbelievable. But just little thoughts, because it just means it does make a person feel cared about. It makes them feel valued and loved.
Let me say something else. I believe that people that have not had the proper love and nurturing in their home life, that end up out on the streets and finding love in all the wrong places, get into gang activity, whatever. If your home life's not right, you're going to find something outside of your home. And so, you know, we're always talking about what's the very best way to fight recidivism. You know, that's the main purpose of the radio show, but it's for everybody. All these things we're talking about relate to all of us. But what I'm trying to say is this. We want to reach the children, and we want to give them the proper attention so that they don't go outside the home with feeling unloved and things like that. And what I've learned in my visits in prisons for the last 6.5 years is that most everybody that's in prisons, they don't want to listen to anybody. They've got this wall around them, and part of what they're needing to do, and some of them are very, very good at this, and when they get really good at it, they go back out in the outside world and they stay out there and they have a great life. But I want to tell you a quick little story. When I do this personal budget thing that I've been working with people for 46 or 7 years, and it started with a man named Reuben Campbell. He was my first karate instructor in Richmond in 1972, and he came to me one day and said, "Hey, Steve, you're an accountant." I was studying accounting at the time, and he said, "Will you help me get out of debt? Will you help me do a budget? I just got turned down from a bank for a car loan. Will you help me?" And the point of the story, by the way, I'm going to give you the quick version of it. I've told it on other episodes. Is sometimes it's to your advantage to listen to someone. But I'm going to tell you that what I've learned in prisons is that unless you're respected, they're not going to listen to you. People will not listen to another person unless they respect that person. And so I have a 6-part program there. It starts with love. I'm there for them. And then that we develop a trust. And then there's a respect that they might have for me that I hope they've gained. But then it's listening. I listen to everyone that I mentor in the early stages of that process where we develop the trust, because I want them to know that I care about them and that I'm listening to them so that I can then take a proper point of view as I try to lead them. But then when they want to start listening to me, there's advantages for them to listen sometimes. And Reuben Campbell basically was this. He wanted me to help him get out of debt so he could go buy a car. And what I said to Reuben after he answered questions about what his finances looked like, I said, "Reuben, I could help you. I know I can help you. That's an easy thing that I could help you fix your problems. You're making a whole lot of simple mistakes that we can consolidate some of this or that, and you can handle your money better." And I said, "But I'm not going to help you." And he said, "Why not?" And I said, "Because you're the kind of person that does not listen to anybody. You have all of the answers. You do everything your way. And so I won't be able to help you, because if I try to, you're not going to listen to me, Reuben." And so the reason I tell you that is that look deep into yourselves, everybody, including me. Let's look into the mirror right now and look and see, do you listen to other people, or do you just have everything in your mind that you're trying to do it your way? And let me tell you this right now. These quotes that I was giving you about wise people, what Jim Stovall talked about, there are some people out there that are worth listening to. So I did end up helping Reuben because he did agree to listen to me. And it came to where Reuben got a car in 6 weeks, and I ended up 47 years later doing a radio show, going into prisons all over the country, trying to help people with their personal budgets to learn how to have a better life and reduce their stress. And so it all has a good thing when you start to listen to people. And we're gonna keep going on for just a couple more minutes right now. Donna, I got just one last thing to say that I'm going to throw it back at you for kind of a summary of today's show. Are you at a point where you want to summarize some of the stuff, or you have more things you want to bring forth?
Well, I did just want to add, I was talking a lot about the moms, and I, again, just want to praise the young moms that are raising children, because I actually feel like the pressure that is put on our young moms today are just incredible. I talk to my daughter a lot, and she's involved in her school, and she's teaching preschool and kindergarten. And we were just talking, there's so many ideas now that young people can get a hold of to, like, for parties and decorating, and it's just an overwhelming amount of information. The Pinterest website is huge. And, sometimes that can make you anxious as a mom, because you see so many different ideas and you just want to do them all. And then you run to the dollar store and everything is cheap there, but you end up spending a load of money because you're trying to make this party such a perfect party. And then just the complications of children with so many allergies and trying to do snacks at school. Everything seems to be a little more complicated. So I just want to praise the moms that are out there doing a great job, and just give yourself a little break and just try to make your life a little easier, because you don't have to do it all. You don't have to have it all perfect. That's what I try to pass on to my daughter. And, just enjoy these children, because they grow up so fast and they're just so precious to us.
That's true. That's beautiful. Love your children, enjoy them. They're not going to be little kids for long. Leffert Fate, one of my best friends here, we're involved in Design Your Empowered Year. He did a show the other day, and it was about love, giving